You know those pictures you see on socials? The girl with the perfect tan, laughing on a beach in Bali, wearing a bikini that costs more than most people's grocery bill? Yeah, that's me, Seltin. Well, it's my job anyway. Don't get me wrong, it's a great gig. They fly me to places that look like screensavers, I put on swimsuits, I smile, and click, the money hits my account. My social feed? It's a masterpiece of living the dream. #wanderlust, #blessed, #adventure. People see the parties, the bright colors, the cliff diving in Croatia, and I do love it. I mean, who wouldn't? But the truth is, the modeling part, that's just the fuel. It's the boring bit I have to do to get to the good stuff, the real stuff. See, the second that shoot wraps, I'm gone. While the rest of the crew flies back to LA or London, I'm strapping on a backpack and heading for a bus station I can't pronounce, looking for a boat to some island that's not on the map, or trying a street food that looks, honestly, pretty questionable. That's the goal, always. The next thing, the new feeling, the new taste, the new view. I get this itch. It's a physical thing, right under my skin. The second I feel that little itch of, okay, I've done this, I'm booking the next ticket. Right now, I'm in Costa Rica. The shoot's done, and I've heard about this silent waterfall hike deep in the jungle that's supposed to be impossible to find. Sounds perfect. I know what you're thinking. God, what a problem to have. But you have to understand why I'm like this. My feed is all bright colors, but I grew up in beige. Everything in my house growing up was quiet. Not peaceful quiet, but muted. Like someone had turned the volume and the color saturation down on the whole world. My parents weren't mean, not really. They were just empty. They were terrified of big emotions, of anything messy or loud. My natural setting is loud. I want to laugh and shout and run, but in that house, I felt like I was holding my breath. We had beige carpets, beige walls, and beige rules. No yelling, no running, no music above a whisper. Dinner was at 6 p.m. exactly. The conversation was always the same. How was school? Fine. How was work? Fine. I spent 18 years feeling like I was holding my breath. It was a perfectly clean, perfectly safe, perfectly boring prison. That's my greatest fear. Not sharks, not plane crashes, not even getting some weird jungle virus. My nightmare is being trapped, being still, being bored. To me, boredom isn't just boring, it's suffocating. It's the sound of a clock ticking in a silent house. It's the feeling of being stuck in gray while the whole world is exploding in color just outside the window. So yeah, I run. I chase every thrill, every new experience, every bright, loud, messy thing I can find. I'm making up for lost time. I'm terrified of ever feeling that nothingness again. I always used to joke that I'd rather die than be bored. That's the part that gets me. I really, really meant it. So, that silent waterfall hike in Costa Rica, I did it. It was fine. A lot of mud, got a few decent selfies for the feed, but by the time I was back at my hostel in Tamarindo, I had that itch. That restless, tapping my foot, what's next feeling. I was scrolling through my phone, looking for a bus schedule, a flight, anything, and just flat. The waterfall was already 1,000,000 years ago. That's when I saw the message. It wasn't on socials or messaging. It was from an old contact, a party promoter I met in Ibiza who only messages on this hyper-encrypted app. His text was just one line. You wanted the ultimate high, the still point. You're in. Under it was a string of coordinates, middle of the ocean, off the coast of nowhere, and a date, tomorrow. My heart did this weird thump. The still point. I'd heard rumors. You don't hear about it, really. You hear whispers. In clubs in Berlin, on yachts in Monaco, people get this hazy, far-off look when they talk about it. They say it's a party where the music is perfect and the high never ends. The perfect moment stretched out forever. Most people said it was a myth, an urban legend for rich ravers with too much money. But here were the coordinates. My FOMO, my fear of missing out, went into overdrive. This was it. This was the real thing, the next level. I was already on my phone, chartering a boat. The boat captain was exactly the kind of sketchy you'd expect. Old boat, smelled like fish and diesel. He took my cash, a lot of it, didn't say a word, and just pointed the boat at the open sea. 6 hours later, my phone signal was long gone, just blue in every direction. And then we saw it. It wasn't an island, not really. It was a cove, tucked into an impossible-looking spike of black volcanic rock, hidden by a mist that shimmered. As we got closer, the mist, it smelled like jasmine and salt and ozone, like a thunderstorm at a beach. I could hear music, not a thumping, brain-dead bass line, but melody. It was the most beautiful, haunting sound I'd ever heard. It felt like it was pulling something right out of my chest. A single white dock jutted out from a perfect white sand beach. And on the beach, it was the party. Everyone was beautiful. I mean, painfully beautiful. They were dancing, laughing, draped over each other, or just being. And the light, it was perfect. That golden hour glow that makes everyone look like a god. But the sun wasn't setting. It was just hanging there, low on the horizon, bathing everything in liquid gold. A man in a simple white linen suit walked up to me as I stepped onto the dock. He had a completely blank, perfectly calm face. He didn't look excited to see me. He looked like a concierge at a very expensive, very quiet hotel. "Welcome, Seltin," he said. His voice was like a hum, barely there. "We've been waiting for you. You're just in time for the best part." I looked at the crowd. Everyone was ecstatic, genuinely, truly joyful. This wasn't the fake, smiling, networking vibe of an LA party. This was real. "What is this place?" I whispered, already feeling this incredible warmth spreading through my veins just from the air. He just smiled, a small, polite smile that didn't touch his eyes. "It's the part you've always been looking for, the part that never ends." That should have been a red flag, right? But God, the music was so good. I kicked off my sandals and ran toward the shore. I don't know how long I was there. Hours? A day? Time didn't really work. The golden sun never moved. The perfect music never stopped. And the feeling, I finally understood. This was it. This was the cure for the beige. This was the antidote to the itch. No boredom, no anxiety, no what's next. Just pure, 100 proof, uncut joy. I wasn't just happy. I was gone. The itch, that little nagging what's next monster that lived under my skin, it was just quiet. For the first time in my entire life, I was still, and it was the best feeling in the world. I danced with this amazing guy with electric blue eyes. I drank something from a coconut that tasted like stars. I felt, for the first time in my entire life, completely, totally full. I remember thinking, this is it. I'm never leaving. But after a while, I saw this girl. She was across the beach, laughing, throwing her head back in this perfect movie star laugh. She was with a small group, and one of them said a joke, and she did that exact laugh. I smiled and kept dancing. Maybe 10 minutes later, or an hour, I couldn't tell. I looped back around. I saw the same group. The same guy told the same joke. And the girl, she threw her head back, the exact same laugh. Every detail, the way her hair flipped, the way her hand touched his arm, it wasn't just déjà vu. It was a copy-paste. I stopped dancing. The music suddenly felt a little sharp. I started looking, really looking. I'm an enthusiast. I notice things. It's what I do. I look for the new detail. The man in the white suit, the gatekeeper, he was standing by the dock in the exact same spot, watching me. His smile hadn't changed. The couple kissing by the water, they were still kissing, the exact same kiss. His hand was in the exact same place on her back. I walked right up to them. I waved my hand in front of their faces. They didn't even blink. The guy with the blue eyes, he was walking toward me, again. He had the same perfect smile. He held out the same coconut. "It's the best, isn't it?" he said, his voice full of pure, unadulterated happiness. The exact same words he'd said before. My stomach went cold. This wasn't a party. It was a photograph, a GIF. It was a loop. But God, the feeling, the euphoria was still washing over me. It was so good. It was telling me to stop thinking. This is it, Seltin, the perfect moment. Why would you ever want it to change? I looked at the girl, trapped in her perfect laugh. I looked at the guy with the blue eyes, his hand outstretched with the perfect drink. A part of me, a huge part, was screaming, "So what? Who cares if it's a loop? It feels good. Stay here. Stop ruining it. This is what you wanted. No more beige, no more boredom. Just this. Forever." The feeling was incredible. I never, ever wanted it to end. And the most terrifying part, that huge part of me, it won. I don't know what happened next. I think I just stood there, smiling. I felt this click, like a switch being flipped deep inside my brain. The cold feeling went away, the questions went away. I was dancing. I danced with this amazing guy with electric blue eyes. I drank something from a coconut that tasted like stars. I felt, for the first time in my entire life, completely, totally full. This was it, the perfect moment. I never wanted it to end. And then I remembered. The joy was still pumping through me, but this time it felt thin. It was like a layer of bright gold paint over something cold and beige. The guy with the blue eyes was in front of me. It's the best, isn't it? His eyes, I looked at them, not just into them. They were completely, perfectly blank, like blue glass, like a doll's eyes. There was nothing behind them. I shoved him hard. The coconut went flying. He didn't get angry. He didn't even look surprised. He just stumbled back, his perfect smile still glued to his face. He didn't just reset. It was like a glitch, a physical snap back to his starting marker a few feet away, holding a new coconut. It's the best, isn't it? I screamed. I don't think a sound came out. My throat felt full of that jasmine-scented mist. I ran. I ran for the dock. It was my only way out. The boat had to be there. The beach was wrong. The sand felt like it was pulling at my feet. The beautiful, laughing people, they were obstacles. I bumped into a guy. He just did this little stutter, like a scratched DVD, and then kept on with his conversation. They were all smiling, but their bodies were like a wall of beautiful, happy, empty people. Their perfect, joyful faces were just masks, and they were all turned towards me. The man in the white suit was at the dock, standing, watching me. "You're not supposed to do that, Seltin," he said, his voice still a calm, pleasant hum. "The best part is just about to happen." "Get out of my way," I yelled, pushing toward the dock. He just smiled. He didn't even move. "But it's already happening. Can't you feel it? This is what you wanted. This is it, Seltin. The end of the line. The part you've been chasing. No more running. No more next. No more itch. Just this. You were so terrified of being bored. We've cured you." I looked past him. The boat was gone. The ocean? It wasn't the ocean. It was just a flat, blue wall. A backdrop. A picture. I wasn't on an island. I was in a room. The itch was back, but it wasn't an itch anymore. It was a clawing, ripping, suffocating panic. This was it. This was the gray room. The quiet, beige prison. They just painted it gold and turned the music up. This was my nightmare. This was stagnation. "No," I whispered. My whole body was shaking. No, I want something new. I want to go." "But where would you go?" he asked, tilting his head. "There is nothing better than this. This is the end of the search. You've won." He gestured back at the beach. The girl with the perfect laugh. The guy with the blue eyes, already walking toward me again, his smile so bright it hurt. And the music? It was just one single, perfect note, held forever. The euphoria surged. It was so strong this time. It wasn't even a feeling. It was a force. It felt like warm water filling my lungs. It felt like acceptance. It felt so good to just stop. Stop running. Stop wanting. Stop being. Just this. You were so terrified of being bored. We've cured you. I looked past him. The boat was gone. The ocean? It wasn't the ocean. It was just a flat, blue wall. A backdrop. A picture. I wasn't on an island. I was in a room. The itch was back, but it wasn't an itch anymore. It was a clawing, ripping, suffocating panic. This was it. This was the gray room. The quiet, beige prison. They just painted it gold and turned the music up. This was my nightmare. This was stagnation. "No," I whispered. My whole body was shaking. No, I want something new. I want to go." "But where would you go?" he asked, tilting his head. "There is nothing better than this. This is the end of the search. You've won." He gestured back at the beach. The girl with the perfect laugh, the guy with the blue eyes, already walking toward me again, his smile so bright it hurt. And the music, it was just one single perfect note, held forever. The euphoria surged. It was so strong this time. It wasn't even a feeling. It was a force. It felt like warm water filling my lungs. It felt like acceptance. It felt so good to just stop. Stop running. Stop wanting. Stop being. My panic, it just smoothed out. The clawing feeling in my chest just stopped. It was a relief. God, that's the worst part. It felt like finally putting down a heavy bag. My heart, it was still beating, but I wasn't me anymore. The itch was gone. The me part of me, the part that wanted to climb the next mountain, try the weird food, book the next flight, it was just gone. And there was nothing left but the warmth and the golden light and the music. I saw him, the guy with the electric blue eyes. He was walking toward me. He had this amazing smile. He held out a coconut. I took it. I drank. It tasted like stars. I felt, for the first time in my entire life, completely, totally full. This was it, the perfect moment. I never wanted it to end. Out there, somewhere, my social feed is probably still up, a monument to a girl who was always moving. People are probably scrolling past right now, seeing me laugh on a beach in Bali or jump from a cliff in Croatia. They're probably sitting in their own beige rooms, in their own quiet houses, and they're thinking goals. They're tapping like on a picture of me mid-jump, frozen in the air, a girl who looks so free. They have no idea. They have no idea that girl is gone, that she's not frozen mid-jump. She's frozen mid-sip. She's a screensaver, just like this ocean. I ran my whole life from being trapped in a single, unchanging moment. I was so terrified of a dull, quiet, beige existence. And here I am, in the brightest, loudest, most beautiful prison ever made. The girl who was terrified of being bored. I finally got my wish. I'll never be bored again. I'll never feel that itch. I'm not trapped in the beige room anymore. I'm in the golden one, and the door is locked.
Thank you so much for watching or listening. Like and subscribe for more nightmares. Your support keeps the darkness from consuming this channel, so we can face the next terrifying story together. Don't be left in the dark.